Boom. We're here.
Good evening and welcome to Weather Fans Live on this Sunday, the 12th of February 2023. And it's another quiet one again.
Sure is. I've just been having a look over the ECM weather charts on their website, and yeah, there's nothing much happening in the atmosphere at the moment.
No. So we'll take a look at tonight. It's the latest on the Strat and see if anything's shown up on the latest models from it, really.
Yeah, which I've got straight away ready to go when we can. I'm just gonna have a quick. I don't think we've had any pictures on Weather Fans, but
it's not for this. What's since Thursday?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll personally leave that for tonight because
we'll come back to that on Thursday. We'll do that as a Thursday feature. Give everyone a chance to send in their photos during the week. So let me just reset all my tabs, and then I will come back. Yep. Oh Christ! Right, so
I've got the strats from the GFS ready for whenever.
Yeah, I've got the 10 HPA weekly mean.
Yeah.
I've got the ensemble mean and geopotential, and I've got the 500 HPA heights. So
if you've got all that, if I'll quickly run through the GFS, then
if you run through GFS, and then I'll come on to ECM because
they could definitely in one lump then.
Yeah, definitely right. You go ahead, mate. You crack on.
Just getting these. What's the name up now? There we go.
I'll see if I can find it
any second now.
It is indeed.
I'll just put that onto full screen. There we go. And let's have a look at the latest. Have a look at the latest and see, and have a look at the this morning's run, see if they're in similar comparison. So we're looking above the North Pole here, looking down. The polar vortex is slightly over into Scandi really at the moment. We've got the warming taking place of the North Pole, which is probably roughly around about here. Just give me a sec. I need to learn not to drink fizzy pop on the countdown. So what we're looking for is the warming above the North Pole. We're looking going into yellows and at least the oranges. This is at 30 HPA, so a bit lower down the atmosphere compared to when we look at the 10 HPA in this second. So let's have going forward. We're seeing the dark oranges appearing there, so we're looking at temperatures going below -30. That's going into the North Pole there, and this places the PV really down into Europe. Really, what happens with the PV in time? That warm still is there over the pole. It's lessened down a little bit, but really this seems to be killing off the PV as it's completely stretched right round towards the mid-latitudes, really.
Yeah.
And also we get a bit more of a warming taking place there during the last weekend of February. And that really kills off the PV.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking, looking at the recent charts, whether or not this is actually going to kill the PV off for the rest of winter.
Well, the latest run from the GFS model does completely kill off the PV.
Yeah.
Remain that warming across the North Pole for this model run. Let's have a look at this morning's run from 6 a.m. this morning, see if it's got a similar thing. I'm just going to run through the banner actually. So there's that warming taking place, which then moves into the North Pole, moves the PV into Europe. Does that kill the PV off? The warming takes place, and that I'm getting a bit of a second warming again towards the last weekend of the month, and that also virtually kills off the PV.
Yeah.
Kind of splits it there, but it seems like to me it's more or less killed it off. Really, it's been completely.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I was having a look at the
So yeah, we get.
chart.
So just to run through again, this one also showing like a double warming there. That's that warming of like below -30 into the North Pole, calms it down for a little while, then we get another warming again, which then
moves right into
that second warming just kills it off the PV for this year.
Yeah. I don't think it'll recover from this personally.
No. So I'll come off that for now, and I'll hand it over to you.
Yep. Oh, my tablet just the thing just decided to go on a wobble. Hang on. Just get the tablet. There we go. That's back in. Right. Group one. Right. Share screen. Tabs. And yeah. So we'll start off with the 10. Actually, no, we'll go.
I'm still waiting for your thing to pop up. No, there we go.
Right, yeah, there we go.
It's all right. Yeah,
so this is the ensemble mean for the same, a bit further high up than where Michael was showing. Michael was showing just the next layer below. This is the 10 HPA, so this is right at the very top of the atmosphere. Well, one HPA will be the very top, and obviously this is the next layer down. It's usually where the stratospheric warming occurs, and I want to see if this works. So as you can see, the warming over here towards northern Russia, Finland area, a bit of warming there. I'm going to see if I can blast it over towards the Arctic. There we go. Bear with me. There we go. There's a better view, guys and girls. So yeah, there's the Arctic, the North Pole. Sorry, getting my words jumbled up. Right. So let's move it on. if it'll move on, that is. It does have issues loading. Right, there we go. So this is for Tuesday at 6 o'clock UTC, and it shows the warming moving in towards the North Pole, which is right here. And as you can see, the polar vortex is getting moved out as it does so. And yeah, as you can see, it doesn't really come back in. So we'll move forward a little bit more and see where it goes. So we'll move forward another 24 hours. So it's 3 o'clock on Friday, so Wednesday morning. You can see the warming moving in towards the North Pole more, and the yeah. So around here, it all gets stretched out. This would be some like I think this is some of the polar vortex here. Like I say, it's further up in the atmosphere. So where Michael was showing you, it's showing it as it comes down. So yeah, so it's starting to move in really. There we go, midnight on Thursday. Let's see if this shows it moving right above. If it'll load, please. Try this. No, right. Forget this. We'll scrap that. We'll go to the weekly mean anomalies. So this is from Thursday on the midnight run, and this shows where the warmer areas and the colder down below the below average temperatures are. So as you can see, for the week ahead, the lower than average temperatures have moved out of the pole and into the mid latitudes at 10 HPA as the warming moves across. I'll move that back to the Arctic rather than there, so we can get a proper look. So as you can see there, the warming well and truly over the Arctic Circle and the North Pole. If we move that forward another 7 days even. So this is from the 20th to the 27th, and as you can see, that warming has become established over the North Pole and the Arctic Circle, over Greenland, northern Canada, and Sweden, Finland, and northern Russia, well into mid-Russia, actually, in Siberia. So we'll move forward another 7 days, and as you can see, that has actually started to wear off, started to push the air further down. And there we go. So this is nearly a month away, and it's just average for that time of the year. So that would indicate to me that the polar vortex is becoming into its into its secondary stage, into spring and summer, where it usually would be for that time of the year, whatever the temperatures are for that. Let's go, and then it's showing that some of the cold air is actually moving back into the pole, but it's not really showing anything untoward, in my opinion. Maybe a bit cold. The polar vortex becoming established again. Where were we? So if we look for Northwest Europe, let's see if that cold air moves down further. Let's see where it goes. So, excuse me. You can see the warming there across the pole, and then that moves out, so to speak. And then we have a little bit of residual warming above us in the UK, which may or may not cause the air to sink further towards the surface. We'll have to have a look at that in the extended forecast with Michael in a bit. And as you can see there, cold, in inverted commas, becoming established again at 10 HPA. Let's move further down into the atmosphere to 500 HPA, which is around about, I think, 10,000 feet, something like that. I will find out. I should know all this. Right. So here we are. This is for this week. So as you can see, warmer than average temperatures at 500 HPA. That's probably down to the high pressure that's above us at the moment. And so, yeah, this would show that I would imagine this is higher than this is the high here. And the jet is going like just to the south of us. So we could be on the cold side of the jet here, bringing in some air on the back edge of this low, going in to us, but it's not showing anything snowy. The snow line is here at 528. As Michael knows himself, that's the line we usually call like
winter. I call it the winter
line. Yeah, it's the thickness line for snow basically. If it's 564, that's kind of in the spring to summer. That's where we'd expect it to be in the spring, summertime. So that shows that we could get some cold air on the back edge of this, but it looks to be more influenced by the Atlantic, in my opinion. So it'll be averaged to one, maybe averaged. So we'll go forward another 7 days. And that shows that warmer air high moving up towards Greenland, still bringing us Atlantic influences. But I would imagine there's a low here which could drag some air down, but that brings the 528 line even further up towards the pole. And from what I've been looking on other maps as well, it's not actually showing an easterly coming in. The maps are all over the place at the moment because of the warming. It doesn't know what to throw out really until the air comes down. So here we go again, 552 line, she's there. 528 well over the pole here. And yep, that's bringing cold or colder than average air in to the UK, which would be coming in this way. So coming in on a northwesterly and high pressure established here over the over Greenland and Iceland. So yeah, it will be dragging air across the Atlantic, so it will be modified. It won't be bitterly cold, but it will be cold. But I think more or less average it's showing it at 540, but that is what, 3 weeks away for the 13th. So you can see, yep, 6 to the 13th. And that then brings that colder than average air across us. So, but it's coming in off the Atlantic and out of there. So, like I say, this is going to be quite modified unless that low is over here where this high is, like kind of a flip reverse. We really want this over here. So then it drags the cold air in from continental Europe and then across the North Sea, and that will then bring us plenty of snow towards the east. This would be good for the west. I mean, high ground to the west could see snow, but not exclusively. We'll go to the end of March, and yeah, so it's showing colder than average heights there. So that indicates low pressure mainly, doesn't it, Michael?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this? I mean,
sorry, at the time I've just found some charts for the for the Strat actually from 1HPA.
Oh, brilliant! This from the very, very top of the atmosphere. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll just run through these.
So this here, what we're looking at,
Do you want me to run it right back?
Sorry.
Do you want me to run it right back, and then you can give your.
Sorry, matey. I was actually looking for something else, but I've actually found this, which will actually show you what's going on at 1HPA.
Oh, okay.
I know I can't find it, but I know there's a chart which shows the exact temperature of the atmosphere above the Strat, but I just can't find it. But I've come across these charts instead. But yeah,
so these are the 500 HPA heights, so more towards the surface.
Well, that's more showing like maybe like a southeasterly, southerly.
Yeah, that's currently what we have at the moment. So obviously the 564 lines there.
Like the milder air.
So that's the milder air that's coming in. You can see the more darker it is here is where the
Did you say the 564 line?
Yeah, that's this black line here, mate.
I would probably call that like the spring line.
Yeah. It's the 576 lines down here, which would be more summery.
Yeah.
That line there would be the summer line. This is the spring line. And then the 528 line is more the winter line, the snow line, as we'd like to say. So, yeah, that's showing higher than above average heights. And then that's kind of retrogressing towards Newfoundland and Greenland.
That's showing a bit more of a northwesterly, that, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's kind of bringing some cold air in off the continent, but it is quite heavily modified by the Atlantic.
No, if you got yourself confused there, it's
or is it
clockwise around the high, so we're looking more of a northwesterly there.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought it was. I'm getting confused.
Yeah,
sorry, guys. It has been a long week, and
cyclonic.
Yeah, so yeah, I do stand corrected.
West to northwest, modified westerly to northwesterly there.
Yeah, right. So that's for next week, for the end of the end of Feb towards beginning of March.
That's looking more of like a northeasterly, really, for much of the UK. Yeah. So that would bring out some cloud or some snow, wintry showers, depending how cold the area is coming down from Norway.
Yeah, and
it'll be showing like southeasterly, easterly. Depends again on the how cold the continent is at that time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, right. I'll just go one more week ahead. So that's establishing that lower. Low.
Again, perhaps looking at maybe a bit of a northeasterly there.
Yeah.
Modified southeasterly.
Yeah, and then this is the last week in March when it decides to play ball. So
yeah, maybe for northern Scotland, northern England, maybe a bit of a northeasterly.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's quite touch and go on that, really.
Yeah. So I've
got the much cold airs over the nearby continent.
Yeah. Right. So now we've had a look at that. Do you want to move any, or do you want me to just carry on?
You can carry on if you want, unless you want to bring up the one HPA.
I'm going to continue on with the week ahead now. So unless you want to do the one HPA while we're still on the Strat.
If we're going on the Strat, let's have a look at the one HPA.
You pull the thing. I'll stop my
I'll just
screen.
flip that back up onto there. I need to move the tab.
That's the facts chart.
Does that move there ever? No, it doesn't.
No, it's still on the facts chart.
Yeah, just bear with me. I'm just ready to do that.
It's recalibrating, bear with.
What I didn't do is actually stop the stream before the sharing. So there's after 1 HP high.
Oh, just found out.
Look.
Yep.
So this is literally right above the highest point of the pole.
The atmosphere.
So we're looking down temperatures. We're looking at the minute perhaps -30. So I guess around the North Pole's around about this area here. Then we begin to see that warming taking place. Plenty of warming above the pole. Those cold temperatures are getting shifted down on this run well, on the 1 HPA towards the Pacific side, really. I'm running out of space here. So there's that warming, which happens to be across the UK. Temperatures still below -20 there. So it's like the PV tries to come back in on the 1 HBA back to -40. Then does that get pushed away again with the warming towards Europe? Just trying to have a go again. Sorry, it's all the way down there, isn't it? Let's take it to about 315. So that brings the temperature back to about -40. The end of that run, temperatures are back to about -50, try to get back to -50 to -60, right at the highest point of the pole. That will take us to the literally end of February. Let's bring that back to 0 hours, unless I've got the 10 HBA. You can go say goodbye.
Mhm.
Just go over the top of this so I can come down here, bring it down. So I'm just trying to work out where the pole is here. Pole, I'm guessing there is probably about somewhere around here, would you say?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it would be somewhere in that area between Newfoundland and Siberia.
So look, that's about -40, -50 there.
In that,
That warming comes into it.
yeah.
So that's taking temperatures to about -20 to -10. It's quite a significant warming there.
Mm.
That's right above the pole there. So temperatures have gone below -20. Does that maintain? Yeah. Maintains. Does the colder temperatures try to come back in?
So there's a secondary warming there, doesn't there?
Yeah.
So that could, we'll see in a minute. And see if it wipes it out or not.
I've jumped a little bit there.
Yeah, it's all right.
It goes back into the pole there and kind of don't really see the cold temperature returning into the 10 HBA of the polar vortex. Stratosphere, I mean.
I'm just having a look at the 10-day 2 meter temperatures just to see if there's any indicators.
One thing I will have a look actually. I've got the Strat at 10 HPA there actually.
All right, on the
this will
GFS
actually tell us if it has gone into reversal. This would be quite interesting then. Oh,
I think the ECM's going for an easterly.
sorry, it keeps jumping here. Stop.
No,
Let's go around the back edge here.
it's all over.
So the winds have actually gone to a bit of a reversal actually already into the 10 HBI above the pole. So instead of going right across like the Atlantic, so to speak, in that direction, you begin to see winds going into reverse. So that has reversed the winds over the North Pole. Definitely has reversed the winds. That's about as clear as you can get it, really, isn't it? The reversal of the winds.
Yeah.
So at 10 HPA, the winds have gone into reversal. So I wonder if we get an atmospheric response to this. So you can bring up the northeasterlies actually across over the UK towards the end of the month. What we'll do in a minute, after when you've done your bits, we'll have a look at the forecast. Sorry, we'll have a look at the forecast.
Yeah, I was just going to go to the 10-day HPA with temperature and wind.
Yeah, it's all yours now
then-
if you want to do a
Brilliant.
screen share.
Coming to it.
Quite pretty purples actually on the screen
They are,
now.
aren't they?
So definite reversal of the winds there at 10 HPA.
I believe this may be it. Bear with.
You're on screen now.
I don't think it is. Let me just check. Share this tab. There we go. Right. So let me go back to the beginning of this one. This is only showing the temperature and the wind direction at 30 meters, which is generally what it's going to be at surface anyway. So as you can see, the wind coming in off the continent, but more of a modified southerly. Average temperatures around about 5 to 10 degrees, I would say. If these were going into greens and blues, like over here, we'd be looking at like -12, maybe -8, -4. Doesn't really say there. Anyway, so this is Monday, so tomorrow. The wind then becomes more of a southerly, a little bit more warmer tomorrow, maybe about 10, 11 degrees. I'll have a look at that on the UKV in a minute, the temperature. So as you can see, it starts to bring in some warmer air there on Monday into England and Wales, maybe a bit into Scotland as well, with a bit of Föhn effect. That pulls off. So 6 o'clock, 9, 12. So another warmer day on Tuesday there's a 12 degrees. So yeah, about 12 degrees across most big cities across England and Wales and into the Republic and into Northern Ireland as well. Pretty much widely between 10 and 12 degrees on Tuesday. So let's see if there's any kind of a thing. As you can see, there is an approaching front, I would say. Got the high pressure down here, a low there, another low up here. So yeah, a plume of warmer air moving in, and that will bring temperatures around about the same again, 12, 13 degrees on Wednesday. Doesn't really go anywhere. Thursday, another warm day, could be between 8 and, yeah, there's the 8 degree. So between 8 and 12 degrees, I would say, across England and Wales. A little bit cooler across Scotland as the air is getting mixed in from the northern latitudes. And you can see, start to watch a bit of a windy feature here. Will be worth looking at on Thursday. Could be just trying to see, there's a low, double low here, so there's like a dumbbell low here. Could cause a bit of a convergence here and maybe a squall line front coming through. Let's have a look. That comes through and turns the winds into a northerly. And actually, they're coming straight from the North Pole as well. But it's still warm because the wind is bringing in more air in off the Atlantic. See where this goes for Friday. So another warmish day between 8 and 12 degrees again. It's going to be pretty much like that all week. But that wind from the north is now transferred into the North Sea. But it's dragging some colder air there, as you can see. Around about 0, I would say that is. Got -12, -16s up there. And, yep. Does that back the winds back over us? Not really. Still got a bit of an Atlantic influence there on Saturday. Another warm day. Let's have a look, see if it makes another shift onto the northerlies. Let's go back to Sunday. That's next Sunday, so a week today, another warmish day. But depending on what's going on in the stratosphere, that could change. This is Monday, so the temperatures have actually cooled down as the wind is shifting ever so slightly. There's a bit of a low, I would say, there. Would you, Michael? Say there's a low there, wind's sort of coming in round the back here. So I'd say there's a low over the top of us here.
Low pressure, what's that?
I know, I was thinking that as well. Let me just go back. There we go. That shows it there, look. So as you can see, the winds are in an anti-clockwise direction. Well, no, they're in a clockwise direction, so that's high pressure. Yeah, sorry guys, it has been a long week, so I'm getting things a little bit wobbled. But that seems to ease off, and there seems to be a plunge coming in out of like Greenland and Canada. But it doesn't really do much. But there's wind coming in here off the east. So it is actually, it's not a beastly. This is at midnight on Wednesday next week. So 12. And as you can see there, bit of a high pressure there in the Atlantic, where it's dragging in wind out of Greenland rather than from out of Europe. And it isn't actually all that cold across Europe.
No.
From what I've been seeing, a lot of the weather does seem to come out of this direction here instead of out of the east. So whether the models are getting it all muddled up, I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yes, because it's taking place right now. It might just take maybe up to when we have a look at the Thursday forecast.
That's what I was thinking. When we come to the forecast on Thursday, we might have a better idea of where things stand. So
I think tonight would have been like the case of like the transitional, really.
That's right. Yeah, it's still trying to balance the probabilities up of where things are going to come from. Blah blah blah. Anyway, let's move into the weather in the here and now. So here is the UKV and showing a rather cloudy day and night. A bit of a clearance coming through tonight across Wales, northwest England, up into Northumbria and Tyne-Wear maybe, and to the east of high ground in Scotland as well.
So it's definitely a dirty high.
Yeah, it's very mucky, this high. It's stagnant. It's just no wind at all. And yeah, it just feels so oppressive at the moment.
There's lots of cloud trapped underneath it, isn't there?
That's it. And earlier last week it was really nice, and it's just clouded over in the last couple of days. So anyway, let's see what the minimum temperatures are for tonight. Across Scotland, northern England and parts of northern Wales, possibly into low single figures. Everywhere else, 5, 6, 7 degrees. And go back and have a look at some more clouds, shall we? I know. So yeah, another mucky day, except across rather more northern parts. Looks like there might be a bit of a clearance into the afternoon.
Seems to be breaking up, doesn't it?
Yes, if I go to 2 o'clock and go to the max, there we go, between 4 to 6 across Scotland, northern England 6 to 9 degrees, possibly a 10 round Liverpool, Northern Ireland 9 to 10, the Republic between 10 and 11 degrees, Wales 8, 9, 10 degrees, and then across the south 10 to 11 degrees. Let's go have a look at some more cloud. But that does actually look to be clearing. So
yeah, seems definitely breaking up during the afternoon. and
Yeah. I think it's more of a southerly coming in, so it isn't getting influenced off the North Sea. And a bit of rain there coming into Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland.
Rain? What's that?
Well, no, I was thinking it's same as well, mate.
I don't think I've had any rain for about. I don't think I had any rain since about 10th or 11th of January. Excuse me.
Yeah, we had a little showy on Friday, but it was in the wind more than anything. So minimum temperatures for Tuesday, as you can see, quite widely into low single figures. Northern Ireland 6-7 degrees as that front approaches from the west. Probably decays as it comes through. Republic 8-9 degrees. This is during the night, so let's move forward. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that rain front, whatever it is, comes into the high and just fades out more than anything. Nothing significant whatsoever.
No.
And we'll go to the maximums. As you can see there, the temperature's responding quite nicely to the clearing skies across England and Wales.
So that's like an early spring-like day, really.
Oh, that'll be a lovely day, that will. 12 degrees across northern England, Wales, 13 degrees in the valleys, 13, maybe 14 degrees across London, and even across the West Country, there's a 14 showing here. Oops, my bad. There we go. 14, 13, 14 around somewhere like Exeter.
North Devon.
Yeah, North Devon, Exeter, somewhere like that. Maybe even a 13 towards Plymouth as well, by the look of it. 12, 13, 12 degrees there towards Plymouth. So, yeah, colder air across northern Scotland, but with the Föhn effect across northeast Scotland, 10, 11 degrees. Let's just bump that up to cloud and cloud. Bit of high cloud moving across southern parts. As you can see to the west, there's another front coming in, but will it give us any rain? Doubt it. Oh, will it move in? Nope. Is the answer to that. Wednesday night, we are looking at low single figures. Rural parts could see a touch of frost. But further west and north you are 6-7 degrees, quite possible. We'll go into Wednesday and then I'll pass it to Michael. So there's a bit of snow across Scotland there, across the higher ground, but as that band moves into the high, it just fades out more than anything. Band of cloud, spotty rain. But across northern Scotland, the high ground, some snow there. Let's go to the maximums. So yeah, as that front moves through, so does the warm air. We've got maybe 6 to 9 degrees across northern England. About a 50 mile down M62, you're looking at 11. So nothing major. So in a line from Bristol up to Hull, all points southeast of that will be into mid double digits. Anywhere north of that, 6, 7, 8 degrees, maybe 9 or 10 across the island and island area. We'll just have a quick look at the nighttime temperatures. Nothing to write home about. Right, Michael, over to you, my friend.
Yeah, I've had a few messages on the.
Oh yes, I can see them. Yes.
Good evening from Richard.
Good evening, Richard. Not sure we will get thunder. No.
And evening, folks. Ingredients for thunder later in the week from Andy. We'll have a look at the GFS. But looking at the UKV, there doesn't seem to be any much rain coming through. But we'll have a look at it in just a moment.
Yep. Michael, over to you for the GFS.
Yep. So screen share. Let's have a look at the FX charts. I should be up on the
There we
screen.
go.
I have indeed. So this is the latest FX charts from the Met Office. This is the latest from 6 p.m. this evening. And we're influenced by a large area of high pressure, which is covering much of Europe, really. Currently centered over towards, I'll say, is that Germany and Poland. So we're getting these kind of like southeasterlies at the minute. And we've got low pressure way out into the mid-Atlantic, really, with this weather front and this occlusion down just off the coast of Iberia. And nothing much happened in the next 24 hours. This is from 12 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. High pressure still in charge, centered across Central Europe. Still getting this very slack southerly, really. So that could help up to break up the cloud. Midnight into Tuesday, we've got this weather front trying to come in from the west. We've got this long fetch southerly coming from Iberia. Winds will be mostly light, perhaps a bit stronger further west you are. Midday on Tuesday, we've got this decaying weather front coming to Scotland, which we've seen, so that might just bring 1 or 2 spots of rain for Ireland and parts of Scotland. High pressure is still dominant across much of Europe. And midnight into Wednesday, much of the same. This slack southerly. And we've got this cold front trying to move in from the west. And for some reason, when we go between 60 and 96 hours, it all messes up on here. So that cold front tries like moving through the UK. We'll have a look at see if there's any trying on that. UK view isn't showing too much, maybe a few spots on it. And I don't know why it keeps doing this round about then. And that seems like a weather front just sticks and pivots across England and Wales. So it could be a band of cloud with a few spots of rain. And we've got high pressure trying to move from the south again. So there could be some band of light rain, patch of rain across northern areas. And perhaps further south you are.
I'm saying it's showing a heck of a lot of high pressure, isn't it, across the mid-latitudes?
Yeah.
And a lot of low across the north.
Could it be the response from the SSW? We don't know.
It could be, usually be the other way, but, you know, we have to see where. It could just be the output of the Met Office's fax chart.
Yeah, let's have a look at the GFS charts. And what don't happen there? Okay, we'll have a look at the lunchtime run from today. And let's have a look at the sea surface pressure. And let's see if it does bring perhaps the first hint of any cold weather in at the end of the run. So there's that large area of high pressure over Europe. Bringing that slack southerly flow as we head into Monday. Again, as mentioned, it could break up the cloud, and my thing's just completely frozen on me. Just close that tab there, see if it might be affecting it. So there's that slack southerly, and we're trying to move into a southwesterly westerly as we head into. It's frozen on me again. Doing so well there. So that area of high pressure tries to move from the south towards the end of the week. Just bear with me a second. Seems to be quite slow all of a sudden. Got low pressure trying to approach from the northwest. That'll cross between Scotland and Iceland. Getting some strong winds for a time across the UK. That high pressure builds up in behind. And I think it's trying to build across the UK as we head into next Sunday. And we're virtually back to square one again where we are this time next week, where we are now, really. High pressure sat across the UK. Do we see any pattern change? Let's wait for this to catch up. Looks like we've got like a shallow area of low pressure going to come from Biscay, really. We'll have a look at that, see if that produces anything. And again, high pressure moves back in from the southwest. And for the last Friday of February, high pressure again is set across the UK. We're trying to bring in southwesterly winds in from Atlantic. We've got a deep area of low pressure winding itself up towards Iceland there. I'll bring gale force, maybe severe gales to the far northwest on this run. For the southeast UI, you've got influence underneath that high pressure. So we're back into a bit of a southwesterly there. Don't know why this is really slowing down. Come on. So yeah, it's not really showing any easterlies or anything like that. So if you've seen these charts saying cold easterly winds are blasting in, this is showing nothing.
Or that seagulls are going west.
So let's have a look at the air temperatures aloft. So we're under relatively mild air at the moment. And just wait for this to catch up with me. Currently the cold air is set into far east of Europe towards Russia, Latvia, I think over that way. As we're heading towards the end of the week, we get a push of mild air again with that air of high pressure moving from the southwest. Any cold air at this stage is mostly for far north of Europe, maybe into Scotland for a short time. High pressure builds back in again, under mild air. Might be a bit of inversion there if there's any clear skies with some frost and fog. High pressure moves back in again, settling things down for the third time in about 2 weeks there.
So I was saying the weather, cold air seems to be coming more from the west than the east.
Yeah. So really get like a push of warm air coming up there from the southwest in 2 weeks' time. So definitely on this run, there's nothing significant of anything easterly or northeasterly, really.
No.
Let's go have a look what the 6 o'clock run was doing. Just in case it's not like an outlier, maybe. So we'll quickly run through this. Does this bring any easterly or northeasterly, or is it remaining exactly the same as what we just saw? So we're looking at southwesterly there. High pressure set to our southwest on this run. It's heading to next Monday. Where's the eye of high pressure going? Is it still sitting across the UK? Temporary cold for the far north, which will probably last less than 24 hours. Really, it looks like the 6 o'clock run and the midday run are virtually in agreement. There's that milder air push from the southwest. Perhaps that's bring a bit cooler air in for a short time again at the end of the run, but that's coming in from been modified over the Atlantic.
Yeah.
So definitely nothing shown there on the 6 o'clock and the midday run of the GFS from today. Yeah, so I've got the jet stream, see what that's doing from lunchtime today. That's midweek. Got the jet stream just coming across the north of Scotland, well, north of the UK there. It's not really developing much of low pressure, really, is it?
No.
Was it looking at middle of next week, maybe like a bit of development? Got like a cut off low there towards Iberia. We've got a strong jet stream coming out of Canada there in about 10 days' time. That'll probably develop that strong air of low pressure that we saw on the run. Yeah, nothing very much happened with the jet stream, really. It's not really winding any storms up or anything like low pressure.
Mm-hmm.
To think now we're middle of February, we've not even had a named storm this season yet, which is quite incredible. So I mentioned about the thunderstorm risk. Let's have a look at the Cape. I'm not going to see barely anything because there's too much high pressure around. Was it middle of the week there might be a little feature coming through? We're just in too many. That's really a lot of deep into the positive numbers there. We need to see minus numbers there.
Yeah, and vivid colours as well.
No, I think it was really, truthfully, we're just too early into the season. Probably looking from about March onwards, which I would say is the start of the storm season for 2023.
Yeah.
First day meteorological spring. For about another 4 weeks or so, then we'll start feeling the more power of the sun. But yeah, there's too many. It's really like plus 20 there. We need to be like below zero.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the highest I've seen actually, because nobody look at this time of year. 23, 24.
Yeah, as we go into March, April, as the like Michael says, as the sun gets higher in the sky, that's when we'd expect. I think not to say that you can't have lower thunderstorms, but
we'll start seeing more convection as the sun gets stronger.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing shown at all across the Cape and lifted charts. We'll look forward to the summertime where we'll see these into the reds and low minuses, like -4 to -10. That's when we're licking our lips and jumping up and down for joy if we see them. There's no point looking at this storm risk.
Nah.
And no point looking at this snow or precipitation time because there's barely any precipitation falling again for the foreseeable, really.
Yeah. I think we could wrap it up.
And one last thing I will look at is just the forecast rainfall for the coming 2 weeks to show you how dry it is. Total precipitation. And I'm guessing virtually that most of the UK will be less than 10 millimetres.
Mm-hmm.
John, I'm just covering this right through to the end. Just give that a few seconds to catch up.
Nah.
So what we're looking less than 10 millimetres for much of the UK away from western areas.
Yeah.
That takes you through to Wednesday, the 22nd of February. So that's like 10 days worth.
Nothing really.
So further south and east you are, the drier it is. Some places in the south might not see any rain at all. And that'd be like, a good 6 weeks straight really without a drop of rain.
Indeed. Yeah.
We started off wet through November, December, and then part of January, and all of a sudden it's flipped and gone dry.
Mm-hmm.
I think we do need some more rain before the warm weather starts kicking in.
Yeah.
Even if we have a wet March and perhaps April, we should get away with it through the summer.
Yeah.
But before we know, we could have one of our wettest summers. We just don't know.
But then again, we could have another dry summer. Hopefully not, but
It's been a while since we've had a wet summer. I think it's like 2007, I think, last time we had a very wet summer. It was
15.
Sorry?
2015. Something like that. I'm sure there was one quite near, because I remember all the flooding up here. So
I remember things like 2007. I think Rihanna released a song "Umbrella" and happened to be what the wettest. I think the wettest.
it was the
song
wettest ever. Yeah.
Well, I think we might wrap it up there, to be honest, because weather's virtually stagnant yet again.
Yeah, 2007 was the wettest on record. There was 414 millimetres of rain across England and Wales from May to July.
What year again was that?
2007, mate.
Oh, was it 2007? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the wettest ever. And the last one.
And then 2012 was quite wet because it was the Olympics.
Yeah, I've got that here. Summer wettest in 100 years. Yeah, they've all been really hot ones at the moment. So we're overdue a wet summer, to be honest with you.
I think 2007 was virtually, no pun intended, virtually a washout throughout the whole of summer.
It certainly were.
That year, the
2015 was the wettest end to the summer in 50 years for Dorset, Hampshire and Guernsey. It was one of the coldest summers, was 2015.
Yeah. I think it ended up with one of our wettest August on record, or close to.
Yeah. I think Richard said, hopefully not hot. Yeah, I think we got away with it this last year with that 41, but yeah, we don't want it hot again. Definitely not. Yeah, so we're going to wrap it up. And like I say, there's nothing much happening, but we can get photos in for Thursday.
There's anything to take pictures of.
Yeah, clouds, more clouds, sky, flowers, anything. So yeah,
spring flowers, early spring flowers. Daffodils starts to come up in a few places here.
It doesn't just have to be pictures of the sky. It can be pictures of, buildings,
scenic
whatever.
views,
yeah, scenic views like I do with the drone. But yeah, if you can, guys, make the most of the dry weather that we've had for the last now 3 weeks.
I make it 4 weeks now because I don't think I've had any rain here properly since about the 10th or 11th of January.
So yeah, sorry about the snooking there, guys. So yeah, we'll call it a night there. I'm gonna disappear and go watch something on one of the streaming channels.
And I'm gonna go off to bed because I've got work in the morning.
I know
I've
the
had
feeling,
work
mate.
tonight, hence the green shirt.
No,
getting used to working Sundays again.
Yeah, but puts money on the table, doesn't it, mate? So, especially in these hard times.
What was it? The 12th. I've still got another 2 weeks to get at least till I get
Yeah,
paid.
I'm saying I've got 10, 12 days till payday. 10 or 12 days till payday. So, hang on, I'll tell you in a minute. Let's just talk about us when we get paid. When do you guys get paid? Would you like a subscription service?
No, I want to go to bed.
I want to subscribe. I want to subscribe to my pillow and my quilt. .com. Yeah, that'd be a really good one. That would. Anyway, I'll talk to your messenger about that. Night from him. Well, we're getting delirious. We're tired. Night from him and night from him.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you on Thursday night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.